Hey guys, how are you? I'm back. I'm back, guys. Okay, so one of you guys, maybe it was Keonce in the chat told me that Sarah Boone had been in court today, which was very interesting. Okay. Sis is back in court. So I did a quick search and so Fox 35 Orlando dropped a update and said that accused killer Sarah Boone is still looking to hire an attorney for now. For now, she is still on her own, representing herself in court, and she's already running into issues. In court on Thursday, which would be today, she expressed frustration that the hearing, which was scheduled by the court the day before, came as a surprise to her. If I'm pro se and my own attorney, shouldn't I be included in all of this so I know what's going on and not a surprise hearing like it is for the second time? Ma'am, again, this is why there were benefits to being represented by counsel. The court has already identified the reason why you no longer have those benefits. It makes things exceptionally more difficult, which I explained to you in communicating with the court and communicating with the state's attorney's office, Judge Wayne Wooten said. For now, Boone has forfeited her right to counsel and will likely represent herself in the upcoming trial. Boone is charged with second-degree murder in the 2020 death of her then boyfriend, George Torres Jr. She is accused of locking her boyfriend inside a suitcase during an alleged drunken game of hide and seek at their Winter Park home. She told deputies that she passed out upstairs after drinking. She didn't quite say she passed out. She said she went upstairs and then fell asleep. She never really quite used those words passed out, but okay, that's what the article says. She told deputies that and woke up hours later to find him unresponsive. She went to sleep. She went to sleep. She got up. She took her sweet time. She called her husband. She went downstairs. She did all of the things and was like, "Oh my God, he's still in the suitcase." That's what she said. She told deputies that she passed out upstairs after drinking wine and woke up hours later to find her boyfriend unresponsive. Boone has had 8 defense attorneys over the last 4 years. 7 were appointed by the court to represent her, and most eventually asked the judge to be withdrawn from the case due to conflicts. Now, Boone said she is doing the best she can to prepare for her case, but wants more access to all evidence and discovery. I don't know if this is something that I need to pursue continuously still for me to be able to receive my hard copies because no one tells me anything, Boone told Wooten. I cannot answer that question because that may call for me to provide legal advice, which I'm prohibited from doing, Wooten replied. The judge said she will be given access to a laptop from 8 to 4 p.m. Her next hearing is set for August 5th. We will put that on the calendar with her trial scheduled to begin October 7th. Um, And I think that's it. That's it for the article. I think there's some video here. This might be her.
Around the clock. Depend on us, the Fox 35 Storm Team. Wake up with me on Good Day Orlando. I'll prepare you for your day ahead. Join me weeknights on Fox 35 News. Know what's coming. From morning to night, depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team.
Girl, she looks highly pissed.
Dave Cacciatore on behalf of the state.
Ms. Boone, good morning. Could you please raise your right hand so Madam Clerk can swear you in?
Yes.
Ma'am, good morning. Can you state your name and date of birth for the record for me?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-77.
We also have a representative from Prison Break Investigations. Sir, if you could come forward, please.
I wish they would give her a microphone. I don't know if you guys heard me. I wish they would give her a mic.
Go ahead and swear you in. right, sir, good morning. Could you state your name for the record?
Billy Lane.
And Mr. Lane, what's your affiliation with Prison Break Investigations?
I'm the owner and chief investigator.
Okay, very good. The reason the court had this hearing this morning is the court has found that Ms. Boone has forfeited her right to counsel and waived her right to counsel alternatively by virtue of her conduct in this case. As such, Ms. Boone is currently representing herself. The court has been working diligently to provide you the discovery. I received your letter, ma'am, and I have reviewed it. We have not forgotten about you. It's just taken some time in order to coordinate the appropriate processes with the jail. In conversations with the jail, a laptop has been secured and will be issued to you after USB drives are provided with all the discovery. Upon the jail's receipt of those items, the following provisions will be adhered to. The laptop, charging cable, and USB devices will be kept in the FDC main control room when not in use. At no time will the charging cord be placed in the housing unit. Upon the return of the laptop to the FDC main control, the laptop will be placed on the charging cable to ensure it is available for the next day's usage. The laptop and USB device is to be accounted for with the control room inventory. The control room DST or CO will make logbook entries for the issuing and returning the USB device and laptop. The dorm officer will make logbook entries for the receiving and returning of these items to the applicable movement officer. A notebook entry will be completed in IMS for every issuance of the laptop and USB device to inmate Boone. The laptop and USB device will be available daily to you, Ms. Boone, between 0800 and 1600 hours. A notebook entry will be completed in IMS for every issuance of the laptop and USB device to yourself, Ms. Boone. The discovery was provided at the court previously and is in the two bankers boxes that are in front of the court to your left, Mr. Lane. I'm going to order you, sir, to take possession and custody of that discovery that was provided to the court previously on June 28, 2024. You, through Prison Break Investigations, shall copy all of the discovery onto as many USB jump drives as necessary. The Judicial Administration Commission for the state of Florida shall be responsible for the fees and costs due to Prison Break Investigations for copying all of the discovery onto as many USB jump drives as necessary. You will appear for a hearing with the court on August 1st, 2024 at 8:45 in courtroom 12A of the Orange County Courthouse with the discovery and all USB jump drives containing the discovery. A representative from the Orange County Jail shall also appear for that hearing as well. At that point in time, Prison Break Investigations shall hand deliver all USB jump drives containing the discovery to the representative from the Orange County Jail in order to be placed onto the laptop that is currently secured and to be issued to the defendant for all trial and court preparation. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
I have a conflict for August 1st, Your Honor. I'm
Okay.
going to be out of state from Tuesday until Friday of next week, which I believe is the conference August 1st for my son's wedding.
Okay, well, congratulations. When do you return from your son's wedding, sir?
I will be back late Friday evening, so I'll be available the following week.
Okay, will you be able to complete that task by that time?
Yes, sir. I'll do my best.
Okay, sir, we will see you on give me a second, I want to make sure I get the date right. Monday, August 5 at 8:45. Okay, you'll be given a copy of the order that I just read from. Ms. Boone, you'll also be given a copy of the order. Do you have any questions for me?
I am thoroughly confused. Was the notice ever put online for this or mailed to anyone? I don't even know why Mr. Lane is here. I don't know why I'm here.
Well, ma'am, you are now representing yourself, and previously you had requested to appear at every hearing that was held. As you are now representing yourself, the court cannot have any hearings regarding your case without you being here. I put on the record and explained to you the process that the court has had with communications with the jail. I'm not allowed to look at any of that. I'm not allowed to copy any of that. So in speaking with the jail and understanding that you still have a private investigator that was provided to you through the state that's being compensated by the state, you're still allowed to utilize his services. The protections of the attorney-client privilege are still applicable to him. So he's able to review any of these documents, ensure that they are safely copied without violating any terms of the privileges. Those will then be placed on multiple USB drives and provided to you Those USB drives will then be uploaded to a computer that has been secured for you at the jail for you to access all of that information.
Okay. My question is, was a notice of hearing posted or mailed to anyone to where apparently the news crews obviously got it? How is it that I do not know anything about this other than my bunk being kicked at 3 o'clock in the morning telling me I have court?
Ma'am, I have no other way to get in touch with you other than setting the hearing, which was set yesterday once I received confirmation from the jail as to the processes for how this would work. And I understand that your case is important, and I want to move as efficiently, as diligently as possible. I know that you've been waiting for this information, and it took some time to confirm the process with the jail. You've advised me that you have very limited space, you have almost no privacy, you have a small drawer where you can keep some personal effects. We could not send all of those boxes with you to the jail, and the jail advised me that they cannot take all those boxes. A process had to be created to make sure, and this is the process.
The process that I was explained after speaking to a couple of sergeants, and I've been waiting for that, and I would much rather prefer a hard copy of these to where I can write on them as opposed to anything that's on a laptop.
I am unable to provide that for you. I have been provided the process has been provided to me by the Orange County Jail. I understand that's your preference, but I can't do anything more than what I've done right now.
I understand. And I have had other information given to me, which is why I've been waiting for the boxes for them. So I don't know, is this something that I need to pursue?
If you guys are having trouble hearing, put your volume all the way up in your headphones or whatever you're listening on, because she's nowhere near a mic. The closest mic might be the mic at the judge, but she's not close to a mic. But I'm still stuck on. He asked, "Did you have any questions about prison break?" So now she's um getting all into the a whole bunch of other stuff.
Continuously still for me to be able to receive my hard copies, because no one tells me anything.
I cannot answer that question because that may call for me providing you legal advice, which I am prohibited from doing.
Okay, well, because I have no other way of contacting you other than in a letter, and it's AKA worldwide. So am I supposed to go back and speak to the captain and whoever else it is that I might need to speak to in order to receive these?
Again, I cannot answer that question. All I can tell you is that we will have a hearing on August 5, whereby which Prison Break Investigations will provide all of the information on USB drives. Those will be provided to a representative from the Orange County Jail, who will place all that information on a laptop for you to use, and that's accessible for your use from 0800 to 1600 every day.
Right. Okay, so I guess I will figure that out, because if I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't utilize the laptop, which is another reason why I was looking forward to the hard copies. So my other question is my time prorated for the time that I've been waiting for my discovery?
I'm not sure I understand what that means.
Will I be having additional time added, or will it be extended from the time period of me waiting for my discovery still?
I'm not in a position to answer that question. I don't know what it is that you're asking for.
My pretrial is supposedly set for September 24th, I believe it is. So obviously I will not be prepared. And obviously I do not know what I'm doing. And obviously I'm still waiting for my discovery. So for that time period that I have been waiting for almost 4 weeks now, will that be added to the time frame in order for me to be properly prepared?
As of right now, the dates are what the dates are, ma'am.
Okay, so I just miss a week, a month.
The dates are what the dates are.
So I also sent you, I believe, 5 motions. Have you received those?
No, ma'am, I have not.
They were mailed last week.
Then I have not received them yet. The last correspondence
I cannot wait for her motions to come in. If Day of Reckoning were a person, it's Sarah Boone. She is when be careful what you ask for actually
I
happens.
got from you, ma'am, was received on July 8th.
5 motions I've mailed. They're probably sitting wherever else it is, considering it takes a day for you all to receive my mail, considering I'm right down the street from you all. So I have those also in order, which may change whatever information or anything that I'm trying to acquire in between now, the month less that I have in order to prepare for my trial. That's in October. October. So if you could keep an eye out for those also. I don't know who I'm supposed to ask. How did Mr. Lane come into any of this? Like, how was he
Mr.
called?
Lane has been your investigator in this case, and he was advised to attend this morning's hearing by virtue of being provided the discovery in order to digitize it so that you can have access to it.
The court contacted him?
I did not contact him.
Am I allowed to speak to him directly?
I would imagine, like, this lady is not completely stupid. Doesn't she understand that Miss Cashman probably had Miss Cashman either hired him or he's just he's been grandfathered from attorney to attorney. And she probably said, being nice, probably said, you know what? You need to, because we can't drop off these hard copies to the jail. We need to have everything scanned.
You can.
Sorry, guys.
Mr. Lane, who contacted you in order for you to be here, please?
JA.
If I'm pro se and my own attorney, shouldn't I be included in all of this so I know what's going on and not a surprise hearing like it is again for the second time?
Ma'am, again, this is why there were benefits to being represented by counsel. The court has already identified in its 16-page order the reasons for why you no longer have those benefits.
Right. Which
It
is
makes things
malformed.
exceptionally more difficult, as I explained to you, in communicating with the court and communicating with the state attorney's office.
Isn't that what a certificate of service is for anything that's filed by anybody in the court?
There
That
was,
should be included in that.
ma'am, there was no certificate of service for setting this for today. This was coordinated by the JA. You were advised as soon as it was set. It was set yesterday.
It's just very odd to me that the news knew about it before I did.
Again, I can't speak to that.
And so nonetheless, my constitutional right to counsel is being forfeited on your behalf in the court. So now I don't get appropriate notice in preparation for me to be able to be here and doing what I'm supposed to be doing and act as and perform as?
I've already addressed the reasons, ma'am, for why there was a forfeiture and alternatively a waiver in the 16-page order that you were provided. Again, it's difficult to communicate with you based on where your current housing is. I'm not able to pick up the phone. The judicial assistant's not able to pick up the phone to communicate with you or send you an email to schedule certain things. And it leaves a little bit of a level of further complication.
How is it the news knows before I do?
You keep asking the same question and the answer is going to be the same. I cannot answer that question for you because I do not know.
Okay, but you do know it's harder for me.
I would agree with that, yes.
And you do know that you did not ask me any questions in regards to your order. You just read it straight off and never asked me what's what or how many with anything of it.
Ma'am, if you have questions, I can certainly try to answer them. I'm trying to facilitate you getting that information that you're certainly entitled to.
So let me just say this real quick. How did the news media know before she knew? I'm looking right here on the Orange County Clerk of Court's office, and it states on, excuse me, Sarah. It states, hold on. On 7/24, you can see it was scheduled, right? There's a meeting scheduled to clarify the June 28th order, which is the 16-page order that he put in that basically illustrated everything. Or not 16 pages, where is it? It was 16 pages right here. Okay. So he set up a meeting to clarify with her, and she's mad because she's getting clarification. That being said, how did the media know before her? Because they probably have a sign on and they may have an alert, and they got an alert like, oop, there's court tomorrow. Somebody go, or whoever's covering this story, there is court tomorrow. They're bringing Sarah in. That's how they know. Like, come on, you have to. I mean, I know she's been locked up for 4 years, but she's got to understand how this automation thing works. I mean, it's all about automation right now. Like, come on, Sarah.
Time for a process to be created by the Orange County Jail. As they had advised me, they do not have a place to store 2 banker's boxes of information, nor are they in a position to provide you physical copies. This is what I've been advised as the process is. As soon as that process was finalized, I set the hearing. This was finalized yesterday.
No one ever asks me. I've been waiting for the.
Hey, me and four. Hey to everyone coming in, everyone who's in, everyone who will be in. And go ahead and hit the thumbs up for me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to everyone here. We are watching today's hearing with Sarah Boone. Sarah she's a consummate complainer. And sis is definitely giving Karen vibes. She's not happy, but she's never happy. So what's the difference?
Boxes. I really don't know what to say, and because I supposedly have no way to contact you other than a letter, and the same for you, I don't know how the news crews got here before I did, but I don't know going forward, how is it that I'm supposed to be able to communicate with you other than me sitting here in front of you at these, I guess, supposed surprise hearings that I'm going to have every single time that it is that you would like to speak to me? Is that what it's going to be?
Ma'am, I cannot answer that question. All I can tell you is that you can communicate with the court through the avenues that you've been utilizing previously, by and through letter writing. As I said, I do not have your letters that you sent last week. They're not in the court file, and they were not in my inbox yesterday. So as soon as I receive them, I will diligently review them. And if we have to set a hearing, you'll be properly noticed for it.
In the certificate of service.
You'll be properly noticed for it. Yes, ma'am.
And will there be a proper notice for today?
Notice was performed last night. I've already explained.
Ask the news crews how they got here?
No, ma'am, I'm not going to let you do that. They're not under oath. They're not a party to this action right now.
They have alerts, dummy. As soon as they enter it on the docket, it will trigger an alert. Like, how does she not know that?
It's wrong and it's unfair.
You certainly entitled to that opinion.
Okay, Candy. Thank you, Boo, for checking in.
I want to ask him a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Lane, how is it that you and I are supposed to be speaking to one another?
So my suggestion would be, since you're now the attorney and you're a pro se, that either you or your honor gives me access to the jail to come visit with you, and I'll be happy to do that. It is the policy of the Orange County Jail to have a letter representing an attorney to allow me to access you.
Sir, could you please get on the mic? Could you please get on the mic?
That's the reason for the past previous couple of attorneys have not had the ability to come out and access you, but that's changed. And I'll be happy to continue to move forward with any investigative actions that can be for your defense, as long as I can get that.
So you need a letter from me.
Or the judge or the jail, somebody that will allow me access to you. Yes, ma'am.
And I send it to you directly?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this a letter also that you'll be supplying to him?
I don't know that I'm in a position to compel the Orange County Jail to do anything.
But you all are the ones who contacted him.
But I can't tell the jail, let this person come talk to me.
Sarah, he's your visitor. The judge can't do that. If you want him to come visit you and give you just like you have a lawyer's visit, he can have an investigator come visit.
If they have a policy where you need to provide the letter, then you need to provide the letter.
So until you have that letter, you and I will not be able to speak with one another?
I will contact the jail myself and find out if there's an extension to pro se, or maybe they can speak to you directly to circumvent the actual letter itself.
Thank you.
Ma'am, do you have any other questions?
I don't think you have enough time. I'm just doing my best, and if you could please keep an eye out for my motions.
I will be on the lookout for them. You said there were 5, correct?
Yes.
I will be on.
If you could please include me on the certificate of service for whatever hearings that we have that are no longer a surprise for me, please.
Understood. You'll be given a copy of the court's order that I read momentarily, and I will see you both on August 5 at 8:45 in the morning. All right. Thank you all very much. Mr. Cacciatore, anything further, sir?
Nothing from the state.
All right. Thank you very much.
The state probably went out for like a nice burger. Nothing from the state. We're good. I mean, at the end of the day, she has some help. She has an investigator. And but at the bottom line is, ma'am, there was no one there but you and George. There's no one there but you and George. And you know exactly what happened. This is not as complicated. Like Nesto has a more complicated case than her. I'm just gonna say maybe some people might think this is a complicated case. In my layperson's point of view, this is not a complicated case. There were not a lot of people involved. This happened on a particular night. She has 911 calls. She has had extended interaction with the officers that showed up, the next officer that showed up, the detective that showed up, the next interview. She has about four different very long interviews that we've all watched. Um, she knows exactly, she knows better than anybody else what happened with her and George. And as far as creating a defense, according to her, she has fans. She's got to have a fan out here who has a legal background or at least has some deductive reasoning and critical thinking who might be able to help her formulate some sort of a defense that may or may not make sense, but she can reach out to her audience. I mean, she basically sent out a help wanted ad in her last letter, which I'll show you guys. We hadn't had a chance to go over, but she keeps trying to pretend like she doesn't know what's going on. And we all heard the judge just say, I will see you on August 5th at whatever time it was. I don't know if you remember at this point. But between now and August 5th, this particular person, which I did look up the name of his agency, and I think this is it. Hopefully, I'm showing the right place. Prison Break Investigations, Florida licensed private investigative firm, are now the ones who have the task of, or who have had the task of working with Sarah Boone, and they're working directly with her. Now, I'm sure he is fully aware of how this lady operates, and I would hope that we're going to see how he does. I forget about what I hope. I'm sure he's going. What state is this in? This is in Orlando, Florida. So this is a complete mess, which it's all her own fault because she has chanced herself out of having a lawyer. She's had 7 court appointed attorneys. She's had 8 attorneys altogether, 7 that were court appointed, and she has made herself quite the nuisance. And the state of Florida is no longer supplying her with any more public defenders. They feel like they have done their absolute best to provide her free legal counsel, not once, not twice, not 3 times, 7 times. So they're done. So okay, so let's finish up. Are we It's just a little bit left.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Oh, wait, before you leave, that is all going to be yours. Yes, I would, sir, so that you can begin the digitization process. All right, I'll see you on the 5th. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Is she trying to go talk to the prosecutor? Oh my God, it's the faces for me. Like, oh my God. I mean, so let's just say we don't know what's going on right now, but let's just say the prosecutor right now is trying to hand her some information that she could take back, like some briefs or something, just something, right? And she decides to turn it down. I would be in my office writing up a receipt on that so quickly that these are the documents. I would scan them in, and that I had an opportunity to talk to Miss Boone directly, and she told me she was not able to take them and decline them So I inserted them in the banker boxes and sent them on their way with Mr. Lane. Like, this person is someone you have got to keep you have to cross your T's, dot your I's, and double check. And as far as the jailer's concerned, I would tell my people, do not have any conversations with this lady about her case. Unless you want to be called as a witness and come to my office, don't talk to her about her case, because she keeps mentioning y'all whenever she goes to court. And it's just weird that she always has some commentary about somebody telling her something in the court. So I'm going to need, as y'all's boss, to stop talking to this woman because it keeps coming up. Please and thank you. I can't even get Cece on this. Excuse me, can you please drop the charges? I didn't mean to kill George. I was drunk. It was the Chardonnay. I'm sober now. I'm sober, and if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't. I promise. I was mad. I secretly hate men. Do you see how much her face has changed over the past? Like, I don't hear anything at all. Do you? Okay. All right. Let me pivot real quick. Um, hold on. Let's see. She's got crazy eyes. Like, she's mad. She really doesn't need to be. She's gonna sit there with her. She's gonna sit there and have the computer for 8 hours a day, and she's gonna be sitting there watching us on YouTube. She's gonna be watching anybody who is covering her case, and that's gonna be it. All right, just a second. Let me pull this up. Is this the one from last month? Okay, this is when she sent away Miss Cashman, and she acts like she doesn't know what's going on.
Out of the last two visits when I've tried to review.
So this is the hearing from last month. This lady with the blonde hair is her last known attorney, Patricia Cashman. And they were not getting along. They were going back and forth. And Miss Cashman was like, I'm good. I'm like, she doesn't want me as an attorney, and I'm cool with that. So she went ahead and petitioned the judge. The judge has this hearing, and he tries to kind of work it out, and she continues to shoot herself in the foot. She wrote another letter, and by the time he got the next letter, he was like, you know what, Miss Cashman, I'm going to let you go. And these are the reasons why. So this was the last one that jumped off, and this was on or about the day of June 7th. So this was maybe about 6 weeks ago, and this is her own fault. And so this happened on June 7th, and probably like about 2.5 weeks later, um, when the judge filed his answer and basically gave the reasons why Sarah Boone would have to not necessarily have a lawyer anymore, but that the state of Florida was no longer going to provide public defenders. It's not to say she doesn't have right to a lawyer. She does. But as far as the benefit of taxpayer paid attorneys starting from scratch every couple of months because she's not getting her way, that's over. So he finally decided at this point that he was going to let Miss Cashman go. and he was very clear, not in this hearing, but in the decision that he put in on the 28th, that basically we're not denying you legal representation, but we're not paying for it anymore. So if you find a lawyer, that's your that's your that's yours to gain. We have nothing to do with that, but we're no longer offering any public defenders. So that's what this is all about. And I think the sound is much better on this one. So
things with her. Just so the court knows, I've spent probably 20 hours, a little bit more, a little bit less, with Miss Boone. She has lots of lists, lots of questions in reviewing the court file. She was distressed previously.
I'm going to be honest. Even if she does file a motion to gag the media, I don't know that that's going to happen because Florida is a very open state. And I don't think that that's going to happen. I'm going to be honest. Also, there is some speculation that she has been using the media because she's very well aware how these letters hit social media. People are talking about it. And also, in such a highly visible case, if you can't get in touch with the judge, the fact that social media knows what's going on shouldn't bother you because her level of exposure to like this live or any other should be minimal. And the 8 hours that you have to spend on the internet needs to be researching your case. So if you want to be bothered by the internet and go to jail for life, that's going to be her business. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that just because she requests a gag order, she's going to get it. She's probably not. And I think the judge also knows that because of how she is, this has to be as visible as possible so that there's no way. Like these days, it's almost impossible to do, I think, a closed court proceeding because people want receipts. And without receipts or knowing, it's just no way. Yeah, people keep saying Daryl Brooks. It's gonna be interesting. So let's listen to this hearing, and I'll show you the letter that she recently filed. And at the tail end of it, she almost made like a flyer or poster. It's not a poster, but she did some interesting font work on a piece of notebook paper, basically kind of a I need a lawyer. Okay.
About having access to her lawyers. I have taken collect phone calls from her that are at my expense. JAC doesn't reimburse you because I think it's important for clients to have access. I have
Hang on,
spent,
please. No one's interrupted you this morning, Ms. Boone.
as I said, I've spent over 20 hours going through her questions, going through her lists. When I tried to update her with regard to the depositions that I took recently, she opted to exit the jail conference. When I tried to review some things with regard to discovery as to things I wanted to make sure she was aware of, she walked out. She has asked me repeatedly for a copy of some medical records. Based on the discovery I got from the previous attorneys, one of the copies of those medical records had her handwritten notes. So she had a copy given to her previously. She'd reviewed them with previous attorneys. I sent her a new copy. Some of the things that she thinks are important from a lawyer perspective, perhaps I don't attach the same importance to, and you try to explain that to a client. I know the court's in a difficult position, but at this point, we're at that impasse of if she walks out of every conference that I have with her, I'm not sure what that says about the attorney-client relationship.
Okay. Ma'am, you said there was something else that you had other than a 58-page submittal or letter.
What other information is it that you're seeking to have me take a look at?
It's things that I've been working on in the meantime. It's things that she likes to tell me is not necessary, but I know for a fact it is necessary. She likes to, in quotes, put things to rest all the time and constantly tells me I'm not having this conversation with you. So I'm not going to waste my time, and I, being in jail, has supposedly abundant amounts of. She's not going to waste my time because she's not going to explain something to me. And I have taken it upon myself to explain it to myself because she refuses to do so. I don't understand what it is that she has against me. I have told her from day one that her snotty attitude was inappropriate, and I try very hard to bear with her and her attitude. I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong to her, but I feel that her attitude has equal prejudice, which is not in my favor, especially considering she's supposedly representing my life.
Okay. Give me an example of, if you could, of items that you believe are important Ms. Cashman is not giving attention to or dismissing as you may have framed it.
Yes, Your Honor. She likes to tell me that I don't like her answers. She's not giving me any answers to this. I've written 3 pages worth of questions, but I'm still waiting for her and any other attorney to actually answer for me, such as, why can't I have a bond? Why can't I have a download of my phone? Why can't I speak to my investigator? Why can't I have my medical records? Why can't I fully utilize my constitutional rights? There's 3 pages worth of questions that I have.
What constitutional rights specifically?
I'm very leery about having a fair trial at this point. There are a handful of other amendments that I have been researching and working on and trying to incorporate. To me, what I have written to you is obvious, and apparently from the correspondence that I get from the world, South Korea was the last place that I received correspondence. They obviously see the same thing. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong other than wanting to have a very successful outcome. It's just been long and drawn out, and I believe that God obviously believes in me as much as I do him in order to give me this very unique adventure that I am on, and I'm doing my best to let everyone know who I really am as opposed to the malicious murderer that everyone thinks that I am. I don't feel that she can do that properly. I still always, the reason why I'm here is hope. Is to hope that she will come in with a gentle, softer side and actually listen to what it is that I'm saying and see the bigger picture other than what's the one avenue that she keeps going down. There's other ways to win and more than one way. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not saying that I'm trying to remove her. I'm just trying to ask you, please, forgive me for having to ask you for this. If you could please let her know, please, to just be nice to me and have a welcoming attitude, and things will probably change, and I will not get up and I walk out. Please don't lie to me. Please don't give me half-truths. And
what instances where there's been falsities or lies that have been told to you by Ms. Cashman? Can you give me an example?
My biggest one, Your Honor, is for me being here ongoing 5 years, no one has ever bothered to try to get me a bond.
What's the lie? You said that she has lied to you. What is the lie?
The process of getting a bond. She lied to my brother in regards to telling him that he would need to come down to the courthouse to have multiple photographs taken for documentation, and he would have to bring the security information leads to his house.
Oh my, there's so much to say here. Where do we begin? Let me bring back in.
Okay, wait, hold. Are they going to go back to the rest of it? Okay. So, well, they're going to show a little bit of when she was like frantically outside in front of the apartment when the police first showed up. Hold on. Okay. So, she feels like, why can't I get a bond? Because you're in for second-degree murder. And there is video of you taunting your boyfriend who eventually succumbed. He either suffocated, whatever the actual official ruling of his death. it was aggravated by being zipped up in a suitcase and you laughing and videoing it and then taking your drunk behind upstairs and purposefully going to sleep and then dragging your, her behind to come back downstairs by noon the following day to only discover like, oh my God, he's still in the suitcase. Oh my God. So yeah, she's being charged with murder. Yes. Hold on. Let me pull this up. These are her. Yeah, it's plain and simple. It's just second degree murder. That's it. Not a whole bunch of charges, just second degree. Can you guys see that? Punishable by life. Okay. That's what she's got at this moment. That's what she's facing. All right, let's go back to where are we? I know what tab we're on, guys. Hold on a second. Let me see. Okay, here we are. I'm gonna, if they get into like some talking, like if they kind of, I thought I had it completely uninterrupted. Okay, it mostly is. Okay, let's see this little part. Hold on.
As we head to the break, let's remember the victim on the right side of the screen, Mr. George Torres, who lost his life in that incident with Sarah Boone.
That they're going to think I killed him.
Why would they think that?
They always have said that. They've always have said that.
What have they
I
said?
told you it's because I'm the blue-eyed white dragon. That's what they call me. Because they don't want him with me. So he's basically just not really been around his family because he chooses me over them.
So he chose you over them, and look what happened. The family, I hate to say it, but the family is typically always right, right?
Into all these other different stories of why she won't do or why she has said certain things. It always changes and it mutates after I ask her for certain things, not just for the bond, but for other things also.
Okay, well, let's focus on the bond issue because you said that she's lied to you. And what you've told me so far, none of that is inaccurate.
So how is it though, because I don't have any experience prior to this, I don't know the process of getting a bond other than what I have read, and it's just for her to do a bond, a motion for a bond hearing. But I didn't know that anyone, all of the other inmates, even officers, have ever said that they've had to do that process in order to have photographs taken and documented and do crews and visit to his house. He's not twisting my bond, which I told her a million one times, but she still spooked him by asking by him something that he's going to have to, and it would threaten his security clearance considering he's in the service, the military. So she totally deterred me from having my brother's address in order for me to have a motion for a bond. No one else has figured.
I promise whatever bond they give her, she's not going to have enough. Not at this point. She's been in for 4 years now. Her ex-husband isn't helping. Her and her ex-husband are going at it. She's mad because he stopped paying alimony and she thinks they need to enforce it. She was getting some sort of alimony payment, plus she was out of work. So she was basically living off the state and whatever money her husband was giving her and child support, even though he had the kid most of the time. Sound familiar? And minus the alimony part. Anyway, she basically is mad because she's getting no money now. She doesn't get a whole lot of support. And what would it matter if you have a bond? Because it's not, who's going to pay it?
Father to even ask me for one, and I will be honest with you, and the court, I know for a fact that however sky high my limit would be for my bond to receive, I know for a fact unless my fans would set up GoFundMe pages or God's will or however else it is He planned on for me to have it paid, if at all, my point is to utilize my rights to have a bond. And with the information I have included in here to you, for the amount of saturation of publicity, there's nowhere that I could go, even if I were to be a close flight with, because of the amount of information that everybody already knows about me, what I look like, and what I eat currently, and so many other things. There's nowhere I could go.
if I were to even think about being a flight risk. It's just the fact that I would like police to have a bond so I can say that I actually achieved something.
Okay, we're going to address bond in just a second, but let's back the truck up here for a moment. Did you guys hear what I heard? That she said, my fans? Did she say she has fans because she's gained notoriety by being a defendant in a homicide case? The homicide of her boyfriend? Did she just say she has fans?
Yeah, she
Let's
did.
go back into the courtroom
She
and
did.
listen now.
Yes, that's what she said. They're like doing a reaction video on court TV. I'm tickled.
Told me he had provide pictures or deeds to a house. What he said was, I mean, he's been in the courtroom for all the hearings, and it's likely that they would be here for the bond hearing, and that your face could be on the television, and that was a concern for him. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. But Judge, I can't spend all my time defending what I'm doing and at the same time be effectively preparing a case for trial. In these situations, I know it puts the court in a very difficult position. As I see it, Ms. Boone has a couple options. Number one, she can ask you to represent herself. She has the right to. You have a Feretta hearing and determine whether she's capable. The court then has to address the issue of whether it's appropriate to appoint standby counsel. Obviously, since she believes not a word that I say after 40 years of doing criminal defense, I'm probably not the right lawyer for that. The other thing is she gets one last lawyer, it either works or it doesn't. And sometimes, unfortunately, the court gets put in a position that you have to have that conversation with a client that you don't, if you want your counsel of choice, then you need to hire your counsel of choice, and everyone can certainly do that. And if you're indigent, the court can only go through this so many times with Ms. Boone coming to the court, and there ending up being irreconcilable differences such that the counsel that you have appointed can't move forward and provide effective assistance to counsel.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm inclined to go ahead and figure out.
Patricia Cashman is right. She has an obligation under the law when you sign up to do criminal defense work to provide effective assistance to your client. Lawyers can get in really big trouble with that. I mean, cases can be overturned because of ineffective assistance. Someone could lose their law license if it's really bad, depending on the circumstances. And as you can see, that's not the case here. There's nothing ineffective about what Patricia Cashman is doing. She told the court 42 years she has served and practiced criminal defense work. Any defendant would be lucky to have a seasoned attorney like that, who does, by the way, appear to be very nice and pleasant. And as the judge noted, no lies are being discovered here. Just so you know, my friends, our video signal has been taking hits. That's why I'm coming out here a little more frequently and sharing some of my analysis with you. We're good. We've got the video back. Let's go in together again.
My last week of my period is the first full week of August, and it starts again on the last full week of August. So we could set it then, but I know that you have trial case management with Judge Marquez on the 20th or the 21st of June, which may impact that. So,
and I have a trial certain with Judge Harris August 5th, and
as do I.
August seems a bit difficult for me.
For a week, for Mr. Robbins, okay. So the options that I see it are, we could specially set this for the week of August 26th, or we set it for the trial period beginning September 30. The hiccup with that first week of September 30 is we have a court holiday on Thursday, October the 3rd, which would limit us to a 4-day trial period, which I don't believe is not sufficient. So that would take us to either October 7 or October 14. So based on the court's trial calendar, that's what I've got available. August 26th, October 7 or October 14?
I think the October 7 or October 14th is more realistic, Judge. I know that Mr. Cacciatore has other trials too and other things on other judges' pretrial dockets and those things.
We're specially set in July and in September. Mr. Cacciatore?
I think we can, I think October 7th is fine.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to specially set this matter for the second week of the September 30 trial period, beginning Monday, October 7th. We will set this matter for trial case management on the 24th of September, right? On September 24 at 9 a.m. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do you at 1:30 in the afternoon.
It's Tuesday, September 20th.
Tuesday, September 24 at 1:30 in the afternoon for our trial case management. Trial date certain on October the 7th. Deputy, if you could please grab the 2 packages of submittals from Ms. Boone. Oh, I thought it was 2 different envelopes, ma'am. Okay. I will review that, and after the review, the court will either issue an order or set this matter for hearing based on what it is that's been presented by Ms. Boone. Mr. Cacciatore, anything else we need to address this morning, sir?
Not to say,
Ms. Cashman, anything else we need to address?
Not that I'm aware of at this time, Judge.
Ms. Boone, is there anything else you need to bring to my attention at this time?
I'm grateful for your time. I was forgiven for having to utilize it. But I really do hope that you review thoroughly what it is that I'm asking for from my attorney who's supposed to be representing me for the trial that's supposedly happening in October, late September. So if you could please, I don't understand how I'm supposed to be able to go into a trial when I don't have what it is to properly defend myself.
Ma'am, I've asked for your submittals. I will be reviewing them. All right, thank you. All right, y'all, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, Judge.
Wow, she's a piece of work. You would think that they need to go interview like 150 people. There were 2 people in the apartment at the time. They were pretty isolated. Like she stated, he really didn't have much of a relationship with his family. I think he talked to the kids the day that he passed away. Her husband, her ex-husband and kid lived down the street. There are some people, I'm sure there's plenty of like a witness list, I'm assuming from the prosecution. But at the end of the day, you would think that she really needs to, like, if we were to compare this case with like Nesto's case, where it spans over a decade and it includes lots of nefarious things that he says may or may not have happened, or people that he may or may not know, all kinds of things. It's a more complicated situation. This woman is accused of murder. She was at the scene of the crime. She's the last person to see the deceased. She is the intimate partner. They lived together. They had domestic issues, well documented on both sides. I mean, I'm not saying like this should be easy, but she chose a difficult route to begin with by doing everything that she's been doing. So anyway, guys, this was fun. I hope you guys are caught up. Let me just click on one other thing real quick because I'm sure you guys have heard about this. Well, let me look at this too. Okay, this is always interesting. The thing about Florida too, they're very detailed. I like that they provide so much information. They provide the notes of the hearing after it's over. So this is basically like a summary of, and this is good because this woman is a mess. She is the type of person that they need to do this for because she's going to give them issues. Well, let me fix my screen again. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So this was the hearing, and basically these are some like basic notes. And then she got her certificate of hand delivery, so they're going to give her the notes. The cause having come before the court on July 25th, which was today, court having reviewed the file and generally advised in the premises, it hereby finds investigative services are being provided by Prison Break investigations. The discovery that was provided to the court on June 28th needs to be scanned and placed on onto USB jump drives in order for the defendant to be able to access and review while in Orange County Jail. The court hereby orders and adjudes as follows: Prison Break investigations by and through Billy Lane shall take possession and custody of the discovery. So he's going to scan it. Prison Break by and through investigator Billy Lane shall copy all of the discovery. Justice Administration Commission for the state of Florida shall be responsible for the fees and costs associated. Prison Break investigation shall appear August 5th with the discovery on the jump drives, probably so they can hand it to her. A representative from Orange County Jail shall appear for the hearing, so they can probably take custody of the materials that they're going to provide. So basically, this was a meeting all about Sarah to basically give her exactly what she needs and exactly what she has requested to have to be able to, for her pro se defense. Isn't that nice? Okay, that they did that. Okay. Let me, I love how they do this. This is pretty awesome. Okay, so let me just do July 25D brief of hearing. Let me just save this. Sarah Boone. Okay. Next thing. So this is what she sent that maybe jumped some of this off. So she sent, another notebook entry. Basically, this is really like a long complaint. There's a bunch of videos where they've read this. So here we go. Let me read a little bit. Well, I'm gonna jump to this first. Is this in here? Did I click on the wrong thing? Hold on. The July 28th. Did they take the 1 of 5? Hold on a second. Just a second, guys. My bad. I feel like I'm looking at the wrong one. Just a second. Is this it? Okay, here it is. I clicked on the wrong one. My bad, guys. Okay, I was like, why does this look different? Okay. It's she's getting to a rate of like every 2 weeks now that she's writing. Look at this, guys. Let's see. Inmate seeks attorney looking for a prosperous challenge, ready for your close up on on national television. So ready for your close up on national television. Do you think that she's actually submitting a motion for a gag order when she is trying to get this out to the public? She knows that she has a certain portion of her communications have become content on the internet. There's no way she's asking for a gag order. I don't think she is in a million years. And this would be one of the reasons that someone could use to defend not, because she's playing up. She's playing up to the media. She's playing up to the media and then pretending, it's the old throw rocks and hide hands, right? Are you zealous with a side of Keen? Like you're playing. You like this woman is playing. Are you zealous with a side of Keen? Show the world who you are with your original creativity, extraordinary expertise, and confident ingenuity. I mean, it's cute and everything, and it would be even more cute if you weren't on trial for or being accused of second degree murder and you've spent 4 years in jail, and your lover, boyfriend, all of the things that you say you loved and cared about wasn't dead. Okay. Qualifications must be trustworthy, honest, passion, drive, open-minded, exceptional problem-solving skills, client inclusion at all times. She's a nut job. Team orientation, collaboration, extreme efficiency and listening. She wants a, maybe she just needs a paralegal. Communicating, understanding, dedication to success, processing a winning mind, possessing a winning mindset, capability of excellence in representation, committed to maintaining faith in the client and case with the ability to think differently, overcome all circumstances. It's like she's weird. Epic opportunity awaits. And then she puts Sarah Boone, her jail number, Orange County Corrections Department. Invest in the oppressed. Believe. I don't, I'm telling you, this woman, she's certified. That, I mean, I don't know if that's the common practice or just the practice of that particular court, but I do not blame them for making sure that everything is documented. And of course, I guess they do have transcripts and all of that, but the fact that um that they do kind of like a little synopsis of the meeting and all of the action items and call outs is, I love that. Just as a court watcher, I think that that's great. So that's it's just like nice, tidy, and neat, because if something is missing, you can easily say, and then those are the action item call outs that need to be ready and prepared. Like if you want to know what's happening, like Sarah's like, well, is someone going to tell me, or what are they going to, like, you want to be told everything, but it sounds like you want to call the shots too, right? Well, you've got this document here that gives you a nice synopsis of everything that happened. And when you get your computer, you're going to have one of those on every single meeting that they've had, because that's what they do. And you can review those. You can that so I'm giving her an idea through the internet. You can review your hearing notes and see what some of the action item call outs were. And you need to sit down and prepare your defense, sis. But I don't know that there's a whole lot of defending what happened. Where was it posted? It's on the Orange County Clerk of Courts in her correspondence. And there's a lot, just as much. So maybe if you're not keeping up with this particular case, like there's probably, I don't know, 20 times more people talking about this case on various YouTube channels. There's a ton of bloggers who talk about this, because it's been going on for quite some time, and postponing. It's the drama of this case. Um, it's all over the internet. But she writes letters to the judge like every 2 weeks. I don't know. You know what? They are entertaining her in Florida. They might not entertain Nesto like that. It's not to say that he can't write a letter, because he did write that letter to Shay Alexander, but the judge might not be playing with him. You know what I mean? It could be one of those, you have a lawyer, and if you want to start, like, look what circumventing the lawyer did to Sarah Boone. So if Nesto wants to start writing Judge Dunaway, and Sean Hoover doesn't like it, or he feels like he's being circumvented, or whatever the case might be, he can sit there and he'll be in trouble, just like Sarah Boone is, where they called her out on her BS, and she's sitting up there representing herself. Sonia, your client is ready. I'm gonna just say I don't think that's a good idea. Uh it's one of those, it's like F around and find out. Nesto probably doesn't need to be getting in contact with Judge Dunaway. I probably wouldn't do it. There's so much going on in Fulton County. I would try to be a model inmate and keep my mouth shut, because it's bad enough they're on the foolishness messing around with the bloggers, okay? And they got, the whole situation, right? Anyway, guys, I'm not going to keep y'all. Um I went live earlier, so if you missed that one, we did a Nesto call that came out today from phone calls from prison. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check that one out. I appreciate y'all handling these likes. Very sweet. I appreciate you guys handling that business for me. And I'll see you guys later or tomorrow. If something else pops off, I'll post this for you guys. Um, I'll post this over on Patreon. I'll post the letter, these two letters, the last two. Um, and so it'll be in there. So I'll make it like a free, like a public, well, a free member post. So you have to go in. You can be a free member. If you already are a member, then you'll see it, but it'll be a free member post. So all you have to do is just get registered too, and then that way you can get alerts and stuff like that. Anyway, guys, have a good evening. If something else pops off, hit me up on Instagram. If I need to know something on need to know, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow out here. Okay. Um, have a good night, guys. Bye. Oh, and if you need to get to I'll drop a link to Patreon. Any of you guys who are new, someone said they hadn't been following this case. I think I did make a Sarah Boone playlist. There's not many videos in there yet, but the trial's happening soon. So I'll drop a link to Patreon and maybe go to the Sarah Boone folder if you want to. And then just type in Sarah Boone. There's a bunch of channels covering this, but I would highly recommend. I'll put some of the videos like from Law and Crime, like the initial 911 call when the police arrived to her apartment, the initial interview, and then the two detective interviews. I'll put all of those body worn camera videos, all of the police videos. I'll put all of those in the playlist too. They'll be from like Law and Crime and Court TV and stuff like that. So that way, if you want to kind of understand what's going on, that'll be a great place to start and then go from there. Okay, I'll see you guys later.